Dating someone with KIDs, what you must know first. Inspiration from Carl Jung's wisdom on commitment, marriage, and soulmate love. What if the greatest obstacle to finding your soulmate is actually the very thing that could lead you to your happiest marriage? Would you date a man who already has children? Most people immediately say, "That's too much baggage." But what if they're looking at it completely the wrong way? According to Carl Jung's understanding of mature love, the deepest relationships aren't built on perfect circumstances. They're built on emotional responsibility, self-awareness, and the courage to love beyond fantasy. A man with children isn't just bringing responsibilities into your life. He may also be bringing qualities that many people spend years searching for: commitment, sacrifice, patience, and a heart that already understands what it means to put family first. But here's the truth. Dating a man with kids can either become one of the greatest blessings of your life or one of your biggest heartbreaks, depending on whether you know the signs to look for before you fall in love. In today's video, you'll discover the hidden green flags, the red flags you should never ignore, and the powerful lessons that Carl Jung's wisdom can teach us about soulmate love, blended families, and building a marriage that lasts a lifetime. Stay until the end, because one simple mistake destroys countless promising relationships, and most people don't even realize they're making it. Dating someone who already has children can be one of the most meaningful relationships you will ever experience. It can also be one of the most complicated. You are not only entering a relationship with one person, you are stepping into an existing family system with routines, responsibilities, memories, emotional wounds, and connections that began before you arrived. That does not mean the relationship cannot become beautiful. It simply means you need to enter it with open eyes, emotional maturity, and realistic expectations. A man with children may have already experienced marriage, separation, disappointment, responsibility, and sacrifice. He may understand commitment in a deeper way because other people depend on him. His life may be less spontaneous than the life of someone without children. The original message behind this advice is simple. Dating a man with kids can be deeply rewarding, but you must understand what you are accepting before becoming seriously involved. Is dating someone with kids worth it? No one can answer this question for you. The answer depends on your values, emotional readiness, future goals, and ability to adapt. If you already have children, you may understand how parenting affects time, finances, energy, and priorities. You know that plans change, children get sick, and responsibilities do not disappear simply because romance has begun. But if you do not have children, the adjustment may be greater. You may be used to relationships where two adults can make decisions freely. You may expect spontaneous weekends, uninterrupted evenings, and holidays planned around the couple. Dating a parent is different. School schedules matter. Visitation arrangements matter. Children's emotional needs matter. The other parent may remain part of the picture for many years. This does not make the relationship less romantic or less valuable. It simply creates a different kind of relationship. Carl Jung often explored the difference between fantasy and psychological reality. Many people enter relationships carrying an ideal image of how love and marriage should look. But mature love begins when we stop demanding that life follow our fantasy and start seeing the real person and the real situation in front of us. Your love story may not look exactly as you imagined. That does not mean it cannot become meaningful. The possible advantages of dating a father. There can be many positive qualities in a man who is actively involved in his children's lives. He may understand responsibility. He may know how to sacrifice for someone else. He may have learned patience. He may take family commitment seriously. A father who consistently shows up for his children demonstrates that he is capable of caring about people beyond himself. Pay attention, however, to what he actually does. Do not assume that having children automatically makes someone mature. Look at whether he keeps his promises, spends meaningful time with his children, supports them emotionally, and takes responsibility for his role. A devoted father may bring a strong sense of family into a future relationship. He may not want to waste time with games. He may be clearer about what he wants. He may move more slowly because he understands that introducing a new person into his children's lives is a serious decision. Moving slowly is not always rejection. Sometimes it is wisdom. A mature father may be cautious because he does not want his children to repeatedly become attached to partners who later disappear. That caution can actually be a green flag. The real challenges you must accept. His life may sometimes feel chaotic. Plans may be canceled because a child needs him. Weekends may depend on custody arrangements. Your dates may need to fit around school activities, birthdays, appointments, and family emergencies. You may sometimes feel that you are not his first priority. This can be painful, especially if you expect romantic love to mean always coming first. But children should be important to a responsible parent. The real question is not whether he prioritizes his children. The question is whether he can still make you feel loved, respected, and valued while fulfilling his responsibility as a father. There is a difference between being patient with his parenting responsibilities and accepting emotional neglect. You should not compete with his children, but you should also not disappear inside the relationship. A healthy man will try to create balance. He will explain changes instead of simply vanishing. He will make time for you when possible. He will listen when you feel overlooked. He will not use his children as an excuse to avoid commitment, communication, or accountability. Know your place without losing yourself. When you enter a family with children, your role may not be clear immediately. You are not automatically their mother. You are not automatically responsible for discipline. You do not need to arrive and take control. Trust should develop naturally. At first, your role may simply be to become a safe, respectful adult in their lives. Children may need time to understand who you are. They may feel loyal to their biological mother. They may worry that loving you means betraying her. They may fear that you will replace someone or take their father away. Do not take every reaction personally. Children often express confusion through silence, distance, testing, or resistance. Give them emotional space. Be warm without forcing closeness. Show consistency without demanding affection. For example, imagine a woman named Maria dating a father with 2 young children. At first, the children barely spoke to her. She felt rejected and wondered whether the relationship could work. Instead of forcing them to bond, she remained kind and patient. She remembered their interests, joined simple family activities, and allowed their father to remain the main parent. Several months later, one of the children asked her to help with a school project. That small request was a sign of growing trust. Real family bonds often develop through ordinary moments, not dramatic declarations. When you should walk away, there are situations where leaving may be the wisest choice. If you know you do not want children in your life, do not continue hoping the reality will somehow disappear. His children are not a temporary inconvenience. They are part of his life. You should also step back if he is dishonest about his parenting situation. Does he hide important details? Does he constantly blame the children's mother while accepting no responsibility? Does he neglect his children? Does he expect you to take over parenting duties immediately? Does he want you to become the solution to his household problems instead of building a partnership with you? These are warning signs. Another important question is whether you want biological children of your own. Do not avoid this conversation. Ask whether he wants more children. Ask whether he is emotionally and physically open to building another family. Do not assume that because he already has children, he will want more. This is not a small detail to discuss after marriage. It is a major life decision that should be addressed before the relationship becomes deeply committed. Do not ignore the other parent. The children's mother may remain involved in his life because co-parenting requires communication. That does not automatically mean there is still romance between them, but boundaries must be clear. Observe whether he communicates with her respectfully and appropriately. Constant hostility can create stress for everyone. Unhealthy emotional closeness can also create confusion. You need a man who can co-parent without allowing his previous relationship to control the new one. Do not rush to compete with his ex. Do not try to prove that you are better. Your relationship should be built on its own foundation. Carl Jung's wisdom about projection can be useful here. Sometimes we react not only to what is happening, but also to our fears, insecurities, and past wounds. Ask yourself honestly, is there a real boundary problem, or am I reacting from fear? At the same time, do not silence your intuition. If something feels unclear, ask calm and direct questions. Enter with maturity, not fantasy. Dating someone with kids requires confidence, patience, flexibility, and truth. It is not for everyone, but for the right person, it can create an extraordinary kind of love. You may become part of a family that teaches you new forms of patience, devotion, and belonging. You may discover that love is not always simple, but it can still be sincere. The goal is not to force yourself into someone else's family. The goal is to determine whether the two of you can build a respectful partnership while protecting the emotional well-being of everyone involved. Before becoming deeply attached, ask yourself, am I prepared for this reality? Can he balance fatherhood with partnership? Can we communicate honestly? Do our future goals agree? Do I feel respected and secure? Love can be powerful, but love becomes sustainable only when it is supported by truth, responsibility, healthy boundaries, and emotional maturity. Let your soulmate alone handle issues with Onex. One of the biggest mistakes people make in blended families is trying to solve problems that are not theirs to solve. If disagreements arise between him and the children's mother, resist the temptation to become the referee. Support him. Listen to him. Encourage him. But avoid stepping into every disagreement. Your relationship will be much healthier if healthy boundaries exist from the beginning. Carl Jung often emphasized the importance of respecting psychological boundaries. Every person has responsibilities that belong to them alone. Mature love does not control, it trusts. Imagine Sarah dating a divorced father of two. Whenever he argued with his ex-wife about visitation schedules, Sarah wanted to send messages on his behalf. Eventually, she realized that every time she became involved, the conflict grew worse. When she stepped back and allowed him to handle his parental responsibilities, peace slowly returned. Sometimes helping means knowing when not to interfere. Stop comparing your relationship to others. Comparison destroys gratitude. You may see another couple online who appear to have the perfect blended family, but social media rarely shows the difficult conversations, the sleepless nights, the emotional adjustments, or the sacrifices that happen behind closed doors. Every family has its own story. Your relationship will never look exactly like someone else's. Carl Jung believed that every individual follows a unique path of development. The same is true for relationships. There is no perfect blueprint. There is only your journey. Instead of asking, why isn't my relationship like theirs? Ask yourself, are we growing together? Growth matters far more than appearances. Don't ignore the financial reality. Love is beautiful. Marriage is beautiful. But practical realities cannot be ignored. A father with children may already have financial responsibilities, child support, school expenses, medical bills, holiday costs. These obligations are not signs that he loves you less. They simply reflect commitments he made long before meeting you. Instead of seeing those responsibilities as competition, recognize them as evidence that he takes fatherhood seriously. A responsible father often becomes a responsible husband. Discuss finances openly. Avoid assumptions. Build future plans together. Money should become a conversation, not a battlefield. Release unrealistic expectations. Many people secretly create a movie in their minds. They imagine the perfect romance, the perfect family, the perfect marriage. Then reality arrives. Children get sick. Schedules change. Plans are canceled. Unexpected emotions appear. Life becomes messy. Carl Jung observed that suffering often comes from expecting life to match our fantasies. Real love begins when we embrace reality instead of resisting it. Dating someone with children requires flexibility. Sometimes date night becomes pizza at home. Sometimes vacations include children's activities. Sometimes romance happens in simple, everyday moments. Ironically, those ordinary moments often become the most meaningful memories. Bring your best self. Dating someone with children asks more of you. Not because you're competing, but because you're entering an already existing family system. That requires emotional maturity, patience, humility, confidence, kindness. Children quickly recognize authenticity. You cannot pretend forever. If you genuinely care, they will notice. If you're only pretending, they will notice that too. Jung believed that authenticity is one of the greatest expressions of psychological maturity. The strongest relationships are built by people who know themselves. Before asking, "Will this family accept me?" ask, "Am I becoming the kind of partner I would want to marry?" That question changes everything. Most single fathers don't want drama. After experiencing divorce, separation, or the responsibilities of raising children, many fathers value peace more than excitement. They've already lived through conflict. They've already experienced heartbreak. Now they're looking for stability. Someone who brings calm into their life becomes incredibly valuable. That doesn't mean you should hide your feelings. Healthy communication is essential, but unnecessary games, jealousy, constant emotional tests, and manipulation usually push mature men away. Peace is attractive. Emotional safety is attractive. Reliability is attractive. Sometimes the greatest gift you can offer is simply becoming the person he feels safe coming home to. Your role can change a child's life. Many people think becoming a step-parent means replacing someone. It doesn't. Children rarely need replacements. They need additional people who genuinely care. You may become the person who encourages homework, the one who cheers at football matches, the one who comforts them after disappointment, the one who teaches kindness by your own example. Years later, they may remember those moments more than expensive gifts. Never underestimate the influence of quiet love. Carl Jung believed that love transforms people from the inside out. Children especially remember how someone made them feel. Build a relationship. Don't force one. Trust cannot be rushed. Neither can love. Children need time. Respect their emotions. Respect their loyalty toward both parents. Allow your relationship with them to grow naturally. Sometimes it begins with simple conversations. Sometimes with shared hobbies. Sometimes with laughter. The strongest family bonds usually grow slowly. Like a tree, strong roots develop before beautiful branches appear. Final thought. Dating someone with kids is not the easiest relationship path, but it may become one of the most rewarding. Yes, there will be challenges. Schedules will change. Patience will be tested. Compromises will be necessary. Yet, there is something deeply meaningful about joining a family and helping it grow stronger. Carl Jung reminded us that love is not merely finding the right person. It is becoming the right person. A successful marriage is built not on fantasy, but on emotional maturity, honesty, compassion, and commitment. If you choose this path with an open heart, realistic expectations, and genuine kindness, you may discover that the family you once thought was complicated becomes the very place where you experience the deepest sense of belonging. The greatest love stories are rarely perfect. They are built by imperfect people who choose one another every single day. And perhaps that is the truest expression of love and the strongest foundation for a lasting marriage. Dear beautiful soul, hope and wish you learn something from this lesson, and from the bottom of my heart, wish that the wisdom from this lesson enables you connect deeply with your soulmate love, because you deserve the best, deepest relationship. Maybe you wish to share your wisdom or experience with us. Free to put it in the comment section. Let's continue, inspire, and learning from each other. Kindly subscribe and support to keep more of such Soulmate Connect. Together, let's build a community of people having and enjoying happy and fulfilling love and relationships. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.